his wife were married in 2019 in Winston-Salem and currently reside in Greensboro, North Carolina. He is a member of the Greensboro Chamber and on the board of the local African American Disparities Group, and currently partners with Step Up Greensboro, as well as East Greensboro Now to provide financial literacy to minorities. I met Mr. Jonathan, I was a tag-along for one of Jamie's meetings, and I met Mr. Jonathan. And so when you hear VP or branch manager, you know, in your mind you think poised and stoic and boring, but that's not what I got at all. You know, he is so down to earth, and he began in that meeting that was about business, he began to share his heart, his love for his family, and his passion for teaching the community about money and financial literacy. And that is his mission. And immediately, being obedient, you know, God was like, he's your guest speaker. I'm like, we were just meeting him. And so I'm like, okay. So I invited him to a life skills class, and you know, he had his camera off, and I was kind of glad because he told his story. And so it's something about hearing a story before you see the person, right? Because as I thought going to meet him, we have the preconceived notions. But he was honest, he was transparent, he actually shared his testimony. And that was confirmation that he was our guest speaker for today in Breaking Through Barriers. And so without further ado, I am going to introduce Mr. Jonathan Autry as our guest speaker.
Thank you so very much, Ms. Tiffany. It's a wonderful introduction. And to get up here and sing, as we did just a little bit earlier, takes so much courage. What a beautiful voice, a beautiful song. So thank you so much for that. You know, it's ironic that Mr. Billy talks about transformation of life and what we're doing, because we're all on a journey. And all of our journeys are different. You know, so as we go through and break through barriers and transform the way we think, ultimately transforming how we live, it doesn't really get any better than that. And I'm here to tell you. So when I speak to the four of you, what an honor. I can't say enough of that. What an honor it truly is. No one knows their own strength until they're tested. The four of you begin your journey long before Step Up, simply with the power of you. How powerful is that? The power of you to decide to do this. It all begins with the ability to change your mind, and everyone has this ability. When change is accepted, fear begins to creep in. And the reason this happens is because your mind is thinking differently, and it's not in the same comfortable space it once was. Imagine this. I started out as a young child with great talents. And I used this to the best of my ability, and this allowed me to excel in every single thing that I did. So as a child, I was treated special. Why? Because I was good at stuff, right? It didn't stop in middle school, it didn't stop in high school, certainly didn't stop in college. I was good at stuff. People treated me differently. And that gave me an air about myself. It gave me a certain level of arrogance. But my heart was not pure. I was doing it simply for the notoriety, the recognition, and the fans, if you could believe that. I got out of school, started working, you know, career's going very well. And all of a sudden it stopped. It stopped. I had not an error, but I had errors in judgment, errors in my decision making. And what that allowed me to do is really start a journey. I lost everything that I had. Lost my home, lost my car. Most importantly, I lost the opportunity to see my daughter. And if you have children, I can't express how important that is. So from there, my journey truly begins with what I think is a different way of thinking. So I start to rebuild this, and I start to get back, and I'll take any job that they'll give me. I'll go out there and do anything that they ask. Along with this, I would do volunteering because it looked good. It does, it looks good on paper. Heart, not full, not pure. I have an opportunity to get back to my profession, that of which I love. And in doing so, I forgot how I got there again. And that only led me to a deeper, darker path. And learning that I truly did not learn anything from my experiences before, I started to kind of revert back to those same decision making. Started to think about things in the sense that people owe me something because of what I've done, what I've accomplished. And I'm here to tell you that it progressed into a full-blown problem. And in this time, I became an alcoholic. And so as I became an alcoholic, I made excuses as to why it was, what I needed to do, what I was doing to circumvent the obvious that I was struggling and I was not whole. And that took me to, and I always phrase it this way, a full-blown scholarship to rehabilitation. So during this time, I really discovered what it's like to think for someone else, what it's like to help someone else, with the purity that comes inside, expecting absolutely nothing in return. This journey taught me so much about resiliency, taught me so much about the importance of my support system, the importance of having someone there that I can communicate with. With all that, I learned to be of service to others. And when I became of service to others, everything else just kind of fell by the wayside. I did not worry about what people thought. I did not worry about my past. I did not worry about what am I going to do today? How will people think about me? What's going to happen? I did not think about that no more. I have a very detailed history. You ask anyone close to me. Those closest to me know both sides, good, bad, and then the good again. Those who judge me does not bother me at all. Why? Because I am who I am. And I've come this far, not by myself, but with God by my side, which gave me the opportunity to see that little girl become an important figure in her life. Allow me to open my heart and receive love, to meet the woman of my dreams, and eventually get married, right? All these amazing things happened when I surrendered and said, I can do better. I can change the way I think. I can break this barrier. At this point, you've made a decision to change your mind. You ask yourself, do I want to transform my life? Do I want to change my life to a better quality of life? If God says to you, you can be transformed by the renewing of your mind, giving you the responsibility, He is telling you that you can make this happen. 36 weeks. And like we said, your journey didn't start there. It started way before that with the decision that says, I want to make a change. I want to do something different. God is instructing you to do this because He has put the ability within you to make it happen so you actually change your life. What you do in your mind will show up in your character. It will show up in what happens and the actions that take place within you and around you. If you don't change your mind, it will keep you. And it will keep you in the same place of, you've already got this. And that is that negativity. That is that detrimental behavior that has led us down a different path. Where you are today is a function of your mind. You are the expression of your mind. Your personality, your character, your integrity. As one thinks in your heart, so are you. So are you in what you think. If your heart is not full, your life will not be full. Because everything in your life comes from your heart. And your heart comes from how you feel. Imagine this, it's the same naturally. Words determine how you think. The way you think determines how you feel. If you feel depressed or out of sorts, you have to back up and find, what am I thinking about? What is making me think this way? And it took me so long to figure that out. Why am I thinking this way? Why do I feel this way? How you think in your mind, body, and soul determines how you will live your life. You made the decision to change your mind. That did not happen today. Your personal decision was made long before. The events in your past contributed to the person you were, laid the foundation for your desire to change. As you shift in the way you think, you will see that the future shifts with you. And now with your newfound mindset, the rest of your life stands to prosper. Congratulations to all of you that sit here. You have newfound vigor, glory, tenacity, and goals. I encourage you this, and I encourage this from the bottom of my heart. Never be afraid of who you are. Never be afraid of who you were. Never be afraid to tell your story, because you don't know who's listening, and you don't know how it will impact people. More importantly, the people that love you. You don't know. So I encourage you, do not be afraid. Congratulations on breaking through the barriers to ignite what can only be summed up